Welcome back, you beautiful people. It's a really exciting time in the Samson household. My oldest is gaining confidence on his mountain bike. He's riding out in the Alps. My youngest is starting to learn to use the pedals, which is super fun.
Oh, on your wings.
Now I want to fuel this ambition for them to push themselves on their little bikes. So I'm gonna build a little jump box section where they can learn to jump and perfect that skill, and maybe you can use this and benefit from it as well. And I'm gonna do it on the cheap. It's like a shotgun shot the back of this ramp. Yes, on the cheap. This is all reclaimed wood. I didn't spend a penny with it. It was just basically getting chucked out old shelves from GMBN HQ. This was the perfect opportunity to use all of this reclaimed timber to build a jump box. So a separate takeoff, a box in the middle, and a separate landing. So when you've learned how to jump and clear and land on the landing, I can remove the box in the middle and turn it into a gap jump. But then you can actually move it to make it how big, depending on how big you want it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna kick it off with the box in the middle. Now I don't want to make it too high, because if I make it really high, like this high, it's going to be quite scary and quite daunting for the little dudes to get up onto the box and ride over it, because the consequences are high. It's a big drop to fall to your face, and I don't want my kids to hurt themselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it about 40 centimeters or 400 mil high, and I feel like that is a good enough height for them to be confident with going onto it and then off of it, or jumping it. I'll cut this in half. This is nearly 800, and get the start of the sides going. These I bought these because they make me look more sophisticated when I built the full suspension frame. If you haven't seen it, it's linked in the description down below. I built a full suspension bike in my garage. Actually, I'm building something else special. There's a little bit of a hint over there. It's got a battery. Am I building an e-bike? What? Right, so I've cut the two sides to the box. Now, if I build a box with this stuff, it's going to be super heavy. Now, you want it to be heavy because you want it to be stable on the ground, but I don't want to be too heavy, because I'm going to be moving it around, especially with kids. They're like, Dad, can we move it here? Dad, can we do this? Dad, can I get this out? And be like, it's going to be really heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center of this. I'm going to put a screw there, and I'm going to get some string. And what I'm going to do is put it there and measure out what I want. And I'm going to cut in half circle in here, probably not too much, but it'll just free up some of that weight, because I don't want to, well, weight reduction. Plus it'll actually look aesthetically pleasing, I think. Make it look like a bridge or something, you know? Anyway, let's do that. That's a good idea. Thanks, Nick. That was a really good idea. Thanks, Nick. Nick came out with that idea. He didn't want to see me suffer again. I need to get a different bit. That one's worn to it's worn. Tabletop, obviously not strong structural-wise that way. I need to put some bracing in here and in there. But I haven't got much wood, so what I'm gonna do is work out what I need for the takeoff and the landing, and then I'm gonna brace this up here. But you can see how big the gap's gonna be. It's gonna be, well, a balance bike. It's a little man's balance bike length. Look at that. It'd be nice rolling over that. It's quite high. I want it to be intimidating a little bit, but not too intimidating, because if it's too big, they're not gonna do it. If it's too small, they want it bigger. So if I go a little bit out of their comfort zone, they will build themselves into it, and then actually become more of a thing to do and become the norm. I'm gonna brace this side, probably cut some more circles in at the front and at the rear, and then this is done. Might brace it in the middle. I feel like this 20 mil is super strong anyway. But if I have some scraps, I'll probably put some ribs inside just to give it a little bit more structural strength when you land on top. But 20 20 mil is pretty thick anyway. Right, let's cut the sides. And what I'm gonna do here is sorry for all those vegans, but I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone, figure of speech. But this side is gonna be for one of the sides of the jump box. This side, what I'm gonna do is cut that in half, well, straight from one corner to the other, like that, not in half. Do that and that there. It's gonna be my landing. One side of the landing, and that's the other side of the landing. And that's not so steep. It's not a very steep landing, but I don't want it to be steep.
So those are gonna be triangles, right?
These are gonna be squares, Nick. These are gonna be squares. Basically make a triangle, just like that.
Just like that.
Rectangles,
Yeah?
triangles,
Triangles.
triangles.
Quick ones?
There we go, that is it. I drew a rectangle and called it a triangle. Every day is a school day and you're still learning, man. I'm still learning. Where's my glasses? Probably sort out my eyes. Oh yeah, that's better. So I'm gonna do the same process as what I did with cutting those ones. Mark the center right there, as close as you can. Don't want to go through and crack the wood. Don't need to go too much. You're not putting much pressure. And then I'm going to measure, because this is obviously narrower. It's 11. So from there to there is 11, okay? Now, what I want to do is get that little trusty little bit of rope. So trusty, I don't even know where it is. No, because I feel like...
That's 11 again, isn't it? They're the same depth.
Yeah. It's true, Nick. I just, I just like using my rope, my little trusty little bit of rope. So, I'm not gonna do what I did earlier. What I'm gonna do, should we do that again? Should we do that again? Cut! So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this piece that I cut out of that one there. I'm gonna find the center. Obviously I've marked it there. Find the center there. Make sure that's in the center there. Center. And then just draw around it.
That's clever.
That's really clever, Nick. I know. Trust me. I went to college for that one. Nursery school. Whee! There we go. Done. Need to get that in there. I'm getting ready now. I'm just getting ready. Prepping. Tell you what, the excitement that this thing's gonna bring to the boys and obviously me, it's gonna be incredible. Do you know what this is gonna be good for, Nick? Radio control cars. Jump in it on the radio. I got one up there. I've got multiple ones. Oh, RC car jump. Oh no. What have we done? I've actually made a table. Obviously, I'm gonna put multiple screws in it. So far, I'd say that's way lighter than if it was a box. It looks like a kid's dining room table. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. Nice. So I'm gonna start off with the landing now. I've got this as 400 or 40 centimeters, and I'm gonna cut from corner to corner, and that's gonna be each side of the landing. That's gonna give us the slope. Then I'm gonna get a piece of that big timber there, and I'm gonna place it on top, cut it to size, and then I'm gonna have a landing. I'm gonna put a bit on the back, like what I've done here, just to cut down on the weight. I have that there, looks like a bridge, and then that would be the landing. The landing is pretty much the simplest one out of all of them, because there's only 3 sides. You got the 2 sides and the back, and then the slope down, which is gonna give it its strength. Maybe I'm gonna put some ribs in it, not too sure. And what I mean by ribs is basically give it more structural strength on the landing so it doesn't bow and bend and potentially snap, especially when a big oaf like me goes and hits the jump, which I will. I'm gonna cut this, and we have that sides done. Right, landing. Big bit of timber this, look at that. Woo! Nice. Get one of these, place that there. So I'm gonna go a little bit more than what it is because I want to chamfer the bottom of the landing. So it goes, if you were to put it onto some concrete or some flat surface, you don't want a ridge there. So I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom. I don't think I'm going to cut a hoop in this one. Reason is because there's a lot of force going into a landing, especially when you're going to pop it or jump it and then land onto this. It's definitely going to flex. So I am going to cut a solid piece that'll go in here, and then I'm going to add an extra one of these supports in the middle, and that'll give it some strength so it doesn't bow in the middle. It flexes in the middle. To fix that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one of these in the middle, and that'll brace it. It'll stop it from bending, and I'll brace it there, and I'll keep that really strong. So, cut another one of them, and then this is finished. Oh, come on. Nick, look at it. It's like a shotgun shot the back of this ramp. Oh, that's ridiculous. I ain't gonna do it. Look. Oh, that's terrible. If I go there, it'll go in. It did. It only took 4 attempts. Right, there's a number of ways that you can build a transition for a kicker, and it can be quite daunting because where do you start? What kind of transition do I need? And all these things add up, and you tend to draw loads and loads of lines and then end up going which line is which. Rule of thumb is like, how big do you want your radius? Do you want it 5 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot? It all depends on how high your kicker is going to be. So my one is going to be 400 mil, 40 centimeters. What I've done is set up a little L shape here. You need to have a big space to do this, and somewhere where you can have a fixed point. So you can put your string on the fixed point, come down to the lowest point on your kicker, which is going to be on the ground right here. Now I've measured out that I want my kicker to be 800 mil in length. That gives me a nice long transition, so it's not so kicky and it just wants to throw you over the bars. So we've gone for 800. Put your anchor point directly in line with where it hits the floor. And you put it there like that, get your pen. It should meet up with the top of that there. If I didn't explain it very well, Google it. There's a lot of stuff on Google that will explain how to build radiuses, but this is the way I do it. So I've gone for a 6 foot radius. It's trial and error. Like I said, it's like, oh, you got to get the right one, and it needs to look good. And if it looks good, send it. If it doesn't look good, do it again. And I was 4th time lucky. That was my first one, thinking, yeah, that would be great. No chance. Second one, yeah, I was all right with it, but I feel like it's quite steep here, and I don't want that. And this one, I went a bit nuts. I went far out. I think it's too mellow. It's like a landing. So that one there is good. It's pretty kicky, isn't it? That'll be all right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
To do a mini flip or something.
One way to send my kids over the bars. Now for this, okay, because I'm building it like this without the skin, these are super easy. That's just solid, that's just solid. This, there's a radius in it. So to make it easier, because I'm gonna be putting a thinner ply on here, I do need to brace these up with ribs, because if I don't, it's gonna be all wobbly wibbly, and we don't want that. Call them ribs, because that's what they are. Get out of it. Got me all chapped, didn't it? Okay, I know the width there, so I'm gonna cut a number of them. Some down here, some over here, and then lay the thin sheet. It's not really thin. This is where you're gonna have to stand on it, screw it, stand, screw it, stand, screw it, and just go down. So you gotta manipulate that piece of wood. most time-consuming part of it. I left the hardest for last. The others are just shapes and easy. Obviously, this is a shape, but they're just easy shapes. This is a bit more of a complex shape. To get it right. No one's gonna see this, so it's a bit ugly, but it's gonna serve a good purpose to keep it strong. It's time to take this off of the table. This is the fun bit. Oh, it actually looks all right, man. Look at it, looks all right. It actually doesn't look steep at all. Kind of a little bit, but it's fine. Is it wide enough, this? Yes, Nick, it's wide. This is the hard bit. So you screw along the top, you stand on it, and then you screw it in. This is where you gotta be quite careful, because if you have a screw with a small head and you screw it in, the pressure that you're pushing here could pop the screw out or push it like all the way through and rip the ply out of the head of the screw. And it's happened to me a few times. So you got to be gentle, doing small increments. Get the corners first. See how? Oh, you got to be careful, Mr. Sampson. Admiring the craftsmanship. It's actually turned out really nice. And it pays to just take your time when it comes to cutting the transition. You can see I've got a line down here, which I thought was too steep. And it was too steep. So I went with a 6-foot radius with a 40 centimeter or 400 mil high. I'm gonna trim this because I've got a little bit of excess here. So I'll get my little saw and cut that off. Make it look really nice. We're pretty much done, but we need to join the two or all three of them together so they don't move apart when they hit it, because you don't want to have gaps ending up in between each obstacle. So I've got a cool, nifty way of doing that. Now this part, I have had them for a while in my little box of goodies over there, the little clips that, kind of hold things together. But you can use bungees, which is a pretty inexpensive way of holding them together, and you can undo them and take them apart and store them somewhere. That's one thing. Where the hell am I going to store them? Nick's just come up with something really cool. When they learn to clear the gap and you need to make it bigger, like you want to make the gap bigger, you can move that. So there's a little gap, but you've got a case pad. So the gap's big, but it's safe big. That's pretty switched on, Nick. I like that. But we're gonna go there, and I'm thinking of some latches. Woo-wee. Done. Look, it's all one piece, which is actually pretty incredible. That's really nice. That's not going to move, definitely not going to move. The latches is a good touch because it binds everything together so it doesn't actually come apart or move, like the landing starts to go that way or the takeoff starts to move this way, and actually keeps it real strong and sturdy, especially if you have it on concrete or a hard surface or in some dusty terrain where there's no grass for it to grip into. That, my friends, is a work of flipping art. I love it. Look at it. Oh. And you can use it as a den. The kids can go under there and have some fun. And they can jump over each other, literally in safeness, Woohoo! Right, let's go and reveal it to the kiddie winkles. Ready? What? Hey, how cool is that? Cool. You can run up it. What do you think? Good. Hey, look what you can do under here. Look. Make it. Yes, exactly. Make a den. You can go under there. You want to go under there? Go under there. Albie, go in there. Whoa! I think they're more excited about the den facility that I've made underneath the ramp. They love it. They're stoked. Hey, one thing, guys. Do you reckon it needs paint? Yeah. I know perfect dudes to paint this. Do you guys want to paint it? Yeah! Ready? Yeah. Should we take it outside and get it painted and go riding? Yeah! Do you want me to ride it with you? Yeah! Yeah, let's go.
I ride this with us.
You ride that with us. Nick,
Yeah.
he's asking you to ride it with you.
Okay, dude.
Nice. That's it, a little bit faster. Stop pedaling. Whoa. Go, monkey. Whoa. Oh, a little bit faster. You got it. Whoa. Go faster.
Yeah.
Go for it. Oh, he's doing fakies. Better than me, Albie.
Huh?
You better than me. Good boy. Super inexpensive to do. Reclaim ply, reclaim wood. Don't have to go out there and spend a fortune. And you can teach your kids to do certain things like this, all for yourself. Check that out. Well done, Charlie. Hopefully this video has helped you out. Get inspired to build one of these things and get you riding. Hey, Charlie. Yeah. Here comes little man. Go, Albie. Ready. Whoa. Well done, Albie. Yeah, it's a slide as well. Well, I'm gonna wash my head in here.
No, you don't.
Go, 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 go! Watch out! Big crash! Uh-oh, he's coming!
That one up it.
Run up it!